And I want to apologize to my host here because I'm probably going to do a lot of cussing. And my disclaimer is I may talk shit about a demographic. I may talk shit about some people. But just want you to know that I love everybody equally. I am not racist. I hate everyone equally. Well, I figure we don't shock the audience right away. We kind of break them in easy. Eventually, we're going to end up with the 3 Bs, and that's booties, blunts, and I'll say booze, all right?
Oh, my God. Wow.
All right, let's get it rolling.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you
I'm here with a very special guest. His name is none other than Frank Xavier Contreras.
Woo! Thank you very much. And for those that do know me, a.k.a. Boogie, a.k.a. your mama's boyfriend. So,
All the AKAs.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out, though, before we get started to all my peoples out there that can't be here. First, I want to give a shout out to, of course, my girl, representing Jersey City in the house via Poland. What's up, Aga baby? I love you. We want to give a shout out to Nat Dog, Natty. What you doing? I know right now you're representing and holding down Finland. You show them what Elizabeth, New Jersey's like.
Yep.
And I want to give a shout out to the Bricks. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Brooklyn. And to all my people on the West Coast, Southern and Northern Cal, what's up, fools? I hope y'all hanging. I know it's a little early for y'all, so when you wake up, peep this shit out, all right? Oh, okay.
Wait, what happened?
So we got some people in the kitchen, and by people out there in the kitchen that want to hear this podcast.
Look at that. Look at that.
Right. Shout out to
Here
our
we
girl
go.
Andrea, who is holding down Mexico here on where are
What
we
is this,
at?
5th Avenue and like 20...
7th, 28th. I mean, we've been working here for the last 3 years, but we don't even know what neighborhood we're working. So, welcome to New York, ladies and gentlemen.
We're just trying to get through the day, all right?
No, we do want to give special thanks out to Mexico for hosting us and allowing us to take a corner here of the bar and just do what we do and what Richard does best. So,
that's right. And next time I'm going to be asking for some money, so get ready.
Well, then you better pass some this way, okay? So what's good, my friend?
Yeah, not much. This is, informal, just catching up. I know, we've been friends for almost 3 years now.
Wow.
We've been working together
Has it been
for
that long?
3 years. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it feels like 20. I'll just play. That's
What,
just a
working
joke.
together or friends together?
Friends. Well, both, my friend. Both, okay? Both.
Right.
We do slave for the man. I'm not going to tell you who the man is because currently he is paying my check.
That's right.
So until I no longer get paid by that man, I will keep him anonymous.
That's right. So every once in a while when we're taking a break from working from the man, we come over here on Friday afternoons and get some drinks.
No, we do not drink during work hours.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
says
right.
what?
Oh.
I mean, no.
My bad. I mean,
no.
when I say
Come
get some
on.
drinks, I mean like a grape juice.
Iced tea?
Yeah,
Iced tea with some ice cube?
Exactly.
All to my West Coast?
With the little umbrella in it,
Yeah, with the little umbrella in it. So true. No, we do not go back to work buzz. Not at all.
Right now we're just after work, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is happy hour after work.
Happy hour though. Okay, good.
That's
Well, I
right.
wish I was in Colorado or California or maybe even Amsterdam because I wouldn't be drinking. I would be in a different bar or cafe, I should say.
Smoke weed every day.
And just so you guys know, we're having breakfast for happy hour.
That's right. Oh my God. Huevos rancheros with shrimp and huevos rancheros with pork.
My goodness. If you guys
Boy.
could see this right now, you can see this right now. There's avocado, there's salsa, there's corn fried tortillas.
My God.
And I'm about to end the podcast right now because I got to
Well,
eat.
You know what? Take me back.
What we gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
How did you even get here to New York,
Ooh, yeah.
Because you're originally from Cali.
I am originally from California. I was actually born in Arizona, believe it or not. Crossed the border. Barely became a U.S. citizen by a matter of inches. My mom was smart enough to cross the border and have her children on the American side. This is now pre-Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen.
You sure we want that information out there? They might come for your birth certificate.
Well, you can look, Donald. Worst case scenario, you send me back, I will use El Chapo's tunnel to get back here. So whatever unless you seal and that tunnel with concrete, I will find a way back. But my family moved to California just months after my birth, and was raised in California and moved out to New York shortly after, September 9/11, rest in peace. And I came out here close to 15 years ago.
Damn.
And it was really just to finish school and to check a different scenery. Growing up in California, people kept asking me if I was from back east. I wasn't sure why. Why would they ask that? Like, what makes you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my loud mouth. Oh, got you. That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect
Is
sense.
that the only qualification for coming from the East Coast? Is just...
Well, you East Coasters, I love y'all, but you guys just don't know how to shut your mouth. And I have picked it up, through osmosis. As you want to say. So
I would
no,
say
can't
that
keep my
you've
mouth
more
out.
than perfected that art.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to say that's a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take that as a compliment. So, unlike my Ghanaian brother here.
Whoa, now. Careful what words you choose, man. You're going to have the whole continent of Africa on your ass.
I never freeze. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to see Black Panther. I haven't even seen it yet, and I'm already hyped about it.
You're going to have fictional characters from Wakanda come and beat your ass.
What do you know about Ghana?
You know?
Textiles and all that stuff, all up front. So, yeah, that's a plug to Marvel. How y'all doing out there? Definitely are excited to see Black Panther. My boy and I think it's a daily basis we talk about this.
We talk about it every day.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, those trailers, excuse my language, but I think I get close to a hard-on every time I see those trailers.
So I got to preface that we are both creatives, and obviously we work together.
Right.
We do a lot of digital media, design, art, fine art, everything. And so
creative nut jobs.
So that's why we really appreciate the sort of things that we're seeing in this trailer, and we are always talking about it. We're talking about comic books and the whole Marvel versus DC universe.
Yep.
It's just crazy and inspiring, and just you just can't wait to go see these movies, right?
Yeah, and no offense to you DC fans, and Batman probably to this day is still my favorite fictional character, but yeah, hands down, Marvel is kicking DC's ass, and I had to say it. I just have to say it, get it off my chest.
True story.
It is what it is. I don't care if Stan Lee's has sexual harassment cases after him, and I don't really care about any of that stuff. What I care about is good movies and good stories. Right now, Marvel is doing that, ladies and gentlemen. And Disney, do me a favor, Disney. Do me a damn favor and get your damn ass out of the creative team's coolie. Let them do what they got to do and quit chopping up, good movies. And that goes for the Star Wars franchise as well.
I'm going to throw a disclaimer in here at this point that the views expressed by the guests on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the host. So, ladies, I respect your agency. So, any sexual harassment suits going on in Hollywood, I'm not about that. We're not about that.
Absolutely not.
So,
Absolutely not. Yeah,
throwing that out there.
No, absolutely not. There's never an excuse for that. And that's on a serious note, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're really good looking, you best be, covering up from head to toe. No, I'm just joking.
Now,
no, that's a joke, ladies. No stab there. That's a joke.
It's like you rose out of that grave and then you started digging again.
It's comfortable down there. It's nice and warm. And then when it's hot, it's cool. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's nice 6 feet under. God forbid.
So, what you drinking over there?
I'm having. So, look, I'm a. I love Biggie, and I love we'll put him on the map with Juicy.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I don't like the drinks juicy. I don't like them sweet. I'm a tequila and soda, or I'm just tequila straight up kind of guy. But, we've been coming to Mexico for,
Quite
3 years?
Almost,
for a while.
Yeah, almost the whole time.
And our girl, shout out again to Andrea for putting us up here at Mexico.
Yeah.
She made me a margarita. Mm-hmm. I think about, I don't know, before the holidays. I'd say less than a month ago.
Okay.
And it blew my mind. I'm sorry, it blew my mind.
Is that right? It was that good?
And so I'm drinking a margarita right now. I know.
He's Mexican. What you gonna do?
I sound like a typical tourist going to some, Mexican franchise that probably isn't owned by anybody Mexican. And yet she makes a killer margarita. So that's what I'm having. And what are you having?
So, I like to switch it up on Andrea every once in a while. So usually...
That's what she said.
Hey, whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey.
I'm sorry, a little...
So, I got into a little mode where I was getting, what was it called? The Palmero.
Palmero.
For a while, and Palmero
As I
was
stare at the menu.
a Spike Palmero was a bourbon iced tea, limeade, and fresh mint and syrup. But, today I'm kind of feeling different. Frank got his margarita, switched it up from his regular, tequila and soda. And so I got a bootleg today. And a bootleg is...
Just like this podcast.
But a bootleg is actually a bourbon, fresh lemon juice... what is it? Lime juice, mint, and club soda.
See, I feel so much more manly that he's having the bootleg. Because with the Spike Palmero, ladies and gentlemen, there was fresh mint and mint syrup.
You know what? Haters gonna hate.
You know how I know? Nah, I'm not going to go there.
Stop.
Love to my LGBT community. I did not mean anything by that.
And apparently there's a bit of a secret ingredient in here that I don't know, but it tastes delicious as all
It's called
hell.
love. It's called love. There's
Thank
a lot
you,
of
Dre.
love in that
Thank you,
drink.
Dre. I love
There's a
you,
lot of
baby.
love in that
I
drink.
love you.
I hope you can taste the love. Where is the love? Shout out to the Black Eyed Peas.
Can you feel the love?
Oh, okay, yeah. And on that note, we're going to commercials. We'll be right back.
Ain't no commercials here.
No?
All right, you know what?
Well, you can't be saved by commercials. I got to try these.
Start digging into your huevos rancheros.
I'm about
over
to.
there.
I'm about to, ladies and gentlemen. They're made out of
You got some
shrimp.
in there?
Yeah, and some salsa,
I'm gonna
avocado,
Try mine too. I got
omega
some-
fatty acids. Excuse me. Do we got to tell them that we've been working out hard?
Oh, we was getting there.
Because the only reason I'm having these fried tortillas is because I've been working out hard.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, Frank and I are in beast mode this year. I mean, we started in beast mode last year, but we just kicked it up a notch this year. We've been going to the gym every day of this week, right? Early in the morning, crack of dawn.
And not just to stare at the girls in tights. I guarantee you. It's really just...
I wasn't going to say all of that now, but... So,
well, the people that know me know that's
That's
they
his
know.
thing.
Well, yeah. You can look all you want. How many times have you gone shopping and not bought a thing? That's probably been my life since my mid-20s. I don't have money to shop, but I have eyes to look.
Oh, my God.
Right?
And for all of you who are like, didn't he say he was married? Didn't he shout out his girl earlier at the beginning of the show?
I am married, and she
knows.
She knows. She knows. She's
She
well
knows
aware.
what's up.
She signed the agreement. She read all the fine print. How is the huevos rancheros? They're fantastic. Are
This
you
is
kidding me?
delicious.
That
Thank
salsa
you.
is not your typical salsa, right? Oh, that is. Oh man,
It's
that's
good.
slamming.
Thank you.
Yeah, this place just took it up a notch. I'm a breakfast guy. I don't know about you, Rich, but I love breakfast. I don't know about
I
you.
love breakfast, too. It's the best meal of the day.
I can have it 3 times a day. Although that whole 3 times a day eating, again, it's a made-up concept. You guys don't have to eat. I've been trying this intermittent fasting. Let me tell you about this thing. The first week, it sucks. I'm being told that as the more I do it, the better my body will adjust, and I won't feel like I'm starving and I'm in Ethiopia somewhere. No disrespect to Ethiopia. No disrespect. Stomach's bubbling. No disrespect. But I felt like I literally was going to just faint the other day when I tried it for the first time. I told myself I was going to do just 16 hours, no eating. Drinking water with a little salt to give you your minerals, your sodium, and all that stuff so you don't... Little iced coffee, no cream, ladies and gentlemen. And I said, you know what? I can do this. Well, I didn't account for commuting. I didn't account for, getting home and still having to prepare
Exerting
dinner.
energy.
Yeah, that the 16 hours ended up turning to close to 20 hours. And I went from, being starving to the pain no longer being there to, I think I'm about to faint. And I think I've been hungry ever since.
So explain to our listening audience why you decided to take such drastic measures.
Yeah, good question. I think that's the question of the year right there. Why not just, so many concepts, so many fitness gurus, do this, do that, eat 20 small meals a day, don't eat past 8, don't do this, don't do that. I got tired of that, Rich. I really got tired of trying to hear someone else tell me what to do. Look, no one's body is built the same. No 2 people are alike, right? I get that. Mm-hmm. So what's going on here is that I've done it all, and I think I always get to a point where I feel good, and there's always that stubborn belly fat. Yeah, I know. About 5 billion of you know what I'm talking about. You got nice firm arms. You got a nice tush. You're doing squats. You're looking good. And then all of a sudden you get down to right by that belly button, and there's that belt that you just can't get rid of.
It's just a little extra meat to love, right?
Well, yeah, I guess if you like that kind of stuff, I'd like to, occasionally see what's under all that wrapping. And so I figured that, this is going to help me burn the fat that I just can't get with a workout and with a strict diet. And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, you can be as dedicated as you want, as motivated as you can be. There comes a point where you just want a burger. Or maybe a burger in a Krispy Kreme donut. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But
deep fried, everything.
Oh, God, yes. Yes. I mean, deep fried broccoli would be fine with me right now. So you got to enjoy yourself. You know, we're human. You're going to crack if you don't. So I really do believe that, you know, you have to enjoy and have some pleasures, because if you don't, you're not going to make it to the finish line. It's a marathon, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a sprint. So that's why I started doing it, Rich. I started doing it because I'm hoping that with the fasting, through the fasting process, that stubborn fat that just doesn't want to go anywhere will have no choice but to, call it bon voyage.
I feel like our generation, healthy lifestyles become so important. Like, it's just not enough anymore just take it casually. You gotta work on it. And it's like, if you see other people who aren't like actively working on it, you're like, what are you doing with your life? You know, your 60-year-old self is not gonna thank you later. Like,
I know it, and you're absolutely right. It's not. You know, it's not. I think I saw, read, post, whatever, a meme. I don't care. These days, who knows where you get all your information from all over the place. But the reason we hit our golden age bad is not because of age, because we've gone up in numbers, but because of the lack of mobility. That is what it boils down to. And you say, okay, as I get older, I just don't have the strength, or I just don't have the energy, or I just don't. Disclaimer, bullshit. Shout out to Sting out there. I heard that he still does yoga, and he's 155, ladies and gentlemen, and he doesn't have to drink blood to stay young. You can stay mobile. It doesn't mean you have to work out 40 hours in the gym and lift 400-pound weights at age 65. You can do yoga. You can go for a walk. You can do things. The key is to stay mobile. It's to stay mobile as much as possible. And your diet is what I found out to be 89, if not 99% of it is in the kitchen. And you're talking to someone that I haven't been on a diet for a year or two. I've been on a diet for about 163 years. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I've gotten used to a lot of different... I've tried it all. And so I'll let you know how this intermittent fasting goes. It's new to me, but everyone that does it says it's done wonders for them. I don't recommend it, and I heard it's supposed to be different for females because of estrogen levels and yada, yada. And again, if you're breastfeeding, and the Surgeon General does suggest not to fast. So if you're pregnant, fasting is probably not a good idea.
Yo, I love how this just became like an infomercial for like healthy living, green living, and, dieting. This is the last thing I expected us to talk about on this podcast. You and me, at least,
Well, I figure we don't shock the audience right away. We kind of break them in easy. Eventually, we're going to end up with the 3 Bs, and that's booties, blunts, and booze. I'll say booze, all right?
Oh, my God. Wow. And very accurate, very accurate. I was almost expecting... And I've got this list here. Like, if you know Frank, like, what he is known for is, like...
Such a nice guy, by the way.
Like, he is very unique in his way of thinking, which is amazing, which is why we're friends, because, he definitely forces me to kind of embrace alternative ways of thinking.
No, I think it's because I'm blacker than he is.
You know what? I'm not even mad at that, because it's probably true. Because this is the guy who apparently back in the day started, running around with all these hip-hop heads out in Cali.
Kind of did.
Actually, while we're on that, talk a little bit about that. Who are all these people that you met that maybe people don't know about?
Right,
this is hip-hop royalty right here.
It's a past that, yes, I'm proud of. It's a past I don't talk about much. And but, yeah, I can't deny it. Back in the day, for those of you that are old enough, on the West Coast, there used to be a show on Power 106 called...
wow, Power 106.
Power 106. You remember that? No, well, it's still around, but... and 92.3 The Beat, and I'll get to that in a minute. But So there used to be a show called Roll Call with the famous Baker Boys, who were from Bakersfield, California, and decided to become DJs. They're brothers, and Nick V and Eric Baker Boys, and they had a show called The Roll Call.
Every night, 6:30 with the Baker Boys happens, huh? Check. We said it 1, 2, 3, the place to be. World famous roll call. Who's on the MIC? Baker Boy, make it hot. Don't call, don't stop. West Coast represent. tell us who got the pride. Call us up right now and vote for your favorite MC on the roll call.
Roll call. And like most kids during that time, I started off breakdancing. We were breakdancing during the time when breakdancing was no longer cool. So I consider ourselves pioneers of an art form that had died. It's full-fledged now, ladies and gentlemen. So all you street stance people out there, all you team dancers and all you guys, you can thank us later. We kept that real. Now, you guys took it to a whole new level, and I love what you're doing with it, but the 80s, it died after the 80s. We kind of kept it alive a little bit, and it is where it is now. So, like natural progression for most creatives, and Richard, I'm sure you can agree here. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna stick to one medium. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
You're too creative. You're too out of the box to stay with one medium for the most part. No disrespect for those who perfect a certain craft. All power to you, but I found myself that throughout I go through times where I express myself differently, from painting on canvas to dancing on the floor to DJing, and eventually that turned into writing lyrics, writing songs, and I teamed up with a cousin and a childhood friend of mine. We started called Blood Brothers, and then we went to a bigger group called Area 51 with more MCs.
Not gangster at all.
Not too gangster at all. No, not too gangster at all. Mind you, this was during the time nothing but a G thing and NWA and all that fun stuff. So you're going on the West Coast. If you're not repping gangster, then no one wants to really hear you. So for a white kid and two Latinos to come up in the rap game in Los Angeles, where like if you weren't from Watts or Compton, no one even cared about you. So long story short, we did that for a while. We ended up meeting a girl by the name of JV. Shout out to JV out there. She had a hit single called Neighborhood Queen out in the West Coast. For those who are you from the West Coast and you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. And that led to a lot of opportunities. Started doing shows and opening up for bigger acts. The time Eazy-E was still born, we did a show at the Los Angeles Coliseum, and we opened up from... so that led us to a lot of opportunities and a lot of experiences that were pretty wild. For a while, we were just rapping and touring mostly on the southwest of the country through her and opening up for her and their other groups. And so anytime we had an opportunity, we would call radio stations, do battles or whatever. And the other member of our group, shout out to Cro-Magnon, Apocalypse, Random, Area 51. What's up, y'all? And all my peeps out there, Rap Top Records, Flourish and Prosper, all my people out there. We decided to call the Wake Up Show with Sway and Tech. If you guys remember, you guys know Sway.
Yeah,
had a show called the Wake Up Show. And he used to have a show called the 11 O'Clock Battles that we used. Oh, yeah.
Frank's getting a little top up with his drink. Ooh. So this is the man who said, I ain't into sweet things, but his drink just got a little flavor on it.
Yeah, yeah. See, there's not a lot of good bartenders out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I found one. So to finish the story, what ends up happening, we called the Wake Up Show on the phone for 11 O'Clock Battles, because the screening was you had to spit a few bars, and if Sway liked you, you had to show up at the radio station within half an hour. Now, mind you, we were kids, cats, trying to get out there. It would take us at least an hour to drive out to the radio station. Yep. Long story short, we spit a couple bars. Sway was like, I'm feeling you, kids. All right, get down here by 11, and we'll have you on. Cool. So my buddy Cro-Magnon and I, we jump in his Ford Escort, red, 1990-something. And we just haul ass all the way down to 10, 101, and we get our asses down to somewhere on Sunset and Vine, or I don't know where the hell we were.
All right.
Where the studio was. We show up, we ring the doorbell like, yeah, can we help you? Yeah, we're here to see Sway. Who are you guys? Oh, this is Cro-Magnon, or this is a Lunatic, Maniac. I don't even know what our names were at the time. They're like, yeah, we buzzed Sway. He says he doesn't know y'all. He goes,
yo.
And we're like, what? No. We called up. We're like, we just drove for an hour. We're like, we just called up. We want 11 o'clock battles. Like he said to come down. Hold on. Buzz him back up. He goes, all right, hold on. Go into the door. Now, mind you guys, for those of you that can pictures, don't know this, the radio stations are about as big as your bathroom. They're tiny little rooms. They're not big places. They're tiny little rooms. For those of you that have never seen a radio station before. We walk in, and Sway's talking to, I forget who. He's doing his thing, and he's waving us, kind of throwing his hands up like, what are these two white kids? What are they doing in my damn radio? What are they doing in the building? And the guy points to him, and he holds up two fingers, like 11 o'clock, and the guy's like, Sway's looking at him like, what? He breaks for commercial. They let us in, and he goes, who are you guys? We're like, we're the cats that call on the phone. This is Maniac and Lunatic. Like, yo, you told us to come down. He goes, them cats I just spoke to like an hour ago. And he goes, I thought y'all were black. Man, I looked at my friend like,
that's all he had to say.
I'm like, and so Sway literally made us a verse or another bar or two, just right to prove that we were the same cats on the phone. And he goes, all right, y'all, then we're going to get you on. So we get on, 11 o'clock battle show up, we start freestyling, I think I kick a verse or two. Next thing I know, y'all, I turn to the left and I see Diddy.
Yo!
Diddy. Oh, he doesn't take in the building taking care of business. Well, guess who was right behind him? Yes, your boy from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Who that?
Biggie was in the house, yo.
Snap.
He turns, Sway, in the middle of my verse, turns and just waves Biggie to come in the room. Hurry up, get in here. Now, mind you, there's Sway's mic, there's a counter, and on the other side of the counter, there's 3 mics. I'm on one, my buddy's on another, and there's an open mic.
Yo.
Guess who sits on that open? He comes and he sits to the right of me.
Wow.
So, on the left is my buddy, in the middle, I sit, and to the right of me is Biggie Smalls.
Damn.
Sway, my buddy's kicking a verse on the left of me. He's about to finish his verse. Sway's kind of looking at me like, you're next. I'm like, all right. Mm-hmm. And as I'm going through my stuff, I'm freestyling or whatever I'm kicking, he looks at me and he's like, and he points over to Biggie to like, oh wait, pass it to Biggie.
Oh shit, he's gonna jump on it. Oh,
pass it to Biggie. Pass it to Biggie. Like I'm sitting right here, like I got a CD in my truck right now. Like
I hope y'all recording this.
Yeah. Oh, my boys, he called her up and said, hey, Mom, do me a favor. About 11 o'clock, just hit record right here and cassette tape. Cassette tape.
That's what I was about to say. These are the days where you're listening to the radio, you throw in the cassette tape, and you wait to hit to record. Oh, my God, yo.
And, yes, I do have the proof of cassette. So if anybody has a cassette player, I will play it. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, Sway's pointing at me like, when you're done with your verse, boy, pass it over to the right.
Pass it over.
Now, mind you, I'm foul. I'm foul. You guys know that. So I'm foul on the radio. I start going freestyle on it because I'm like, I've got to pass this mic to Biggie. Like, I got to throw him in the verse somewhere somehow. So I abandoned anything I had in my head or had written, and I just went straight freestyle. Well, I committed the carnal sin, and I'm like, I'm going to pass it to my niggy Biggie.
Oh!
And that's the reaction I got from Sway right there, ladies and gentlemen. He was like, oh, you can't say niggy on the radio. But I did anyway. But like a true MC, Biggie just came in like, Beth, Son, Live, Son, and I was like, oh.
Without a beat.
And I was just waiting to be like, oh, man, I'm going to hug this guy when I'm done. That's not the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. The real life, Sway looked at me and my boy, looked at us and said, waved his hand goodbye and said, get the hell out of my studio in the middle of Biggie's verse. So we left, in the middle of Biggie's verse. And just so you guys know, he looked a lot bigger in photos and videos. In the studio, Biggie wasn't as big. His voice is humongous, but he wasn't as big.
Yeah.
So to me, Rich, that was probably still, with the exception of my babies being born, shout out to my girls, Maya and Nella, that was one of the times that I could look back and say, like, wow, like, I'm fortunate. Like, I passed it, and I got proof.
An amazing
Probably wasn't the
story
dopest
to have.
freestyle I could kick, but you know what? I passed the mic to Biggie.
I mean, that alone, you were in the same, right when he was coming up, so that's...
Oh, yeah. He was actually promoting Ready to Die at the time. Yeah. It had just dropped. I bought it. I think it was within weeks of him. I think he was touring the country, promoting the album, and I think he was in L.A. during that set, which is why he just showed up, and Sway's like, yeah, come on in. Like, you're good.
No schedule required.
Yeah, most bitches don't believe me, but it's okay. I got the cassette to...
You're part of history.
That's part of history, yeah. And so we kept working and we kept doing stuff. I mean, I still got boys out there. We still occasionally put in work. I don't get to write as much these days, being a father and being a creative, a designer and stuff. But, we had a track that came out in a film. So we just kept doing work, and we still do work. That's what you love to do. But we all have to pay the bills and work for the man.
Damn straight.
And, 9 to 5 and get in the hamster wheel and just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. They spinning.
That was a Chris Rock skit right there, not my word. So Oh man, yeah. Go ahead and keep eating your huevos rancheros.
Oh,
You've
yeah,
been
like
talking
the-
for a
I
minute
know, yeah,
now.
so,
I can take it away for a
So
little
let me
bit.
ask you a question, Senor Gana.
Oh shit,
Mr.
Okay.
Diplomancy, he is.
You know,
he is the young prince of Wakanda, but it's really.
I don't
Ghana.
really, you know, normally
He doesn't
answer
take questions. No, I
but
know. He didn't know I was going to flip it on him. He didn't know that I was going to be like, oh, you're interviewing me? No, I'm interviewing you. I'm just playing.
I don't know. You might not like what you have to hear, you know. So.
You tell me.
What's up?
You're the Renaissance man. I mean, every time I turn and look at you, from Wednesday to Friday, you're working on a different project. I think you have
Damn.
like maybe 40 projects at one
Damn.
time.
We
You just
going
dropped.
there.
You just put a little album together. I know you're not. It's not fully, you know, mixed and ready for
Yeah.
you know Capitol Records to hear.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're creative. You're a talented photographer, you're a videographer, and now
Damn.
you're dropping albums.
Damn.
So tell me, where do you find the time?
Damn.
That's what I really want to know is where the hell do you find the time?
My head's about to blow up right now.
Uh-huh. Where do you find the time? And two,
No, you know,
what's
it's
the motivation?
You make the time. You know, that's what it is. You make the time, and
Right.
you know, Frank's absolutely right. It's one of those things where, as a creative, you know, some people, they stick to one particular hustle and they perfect it and they make it crisp and clean. And, you know, I wish I was the kind of person that could do that, but I must have some form of ADD. You know, I can't focus on one thing.
You know, there's
too
medication
long.
for that, right?
You mean Adderall? You know?
I don't know, but we're getting them checked, ladies and
Those
gentlemen.
Addies. No, but you know, it's one of those things where I grew up just being interested in so many different things, and you know, coming from a kind of traditional background, it's kind of like it was a bit constrained, and it was like, you know, you're going to grow up and you know, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a lawyer, and you know, I got to a point in my life where I was like, I can't
No,
conform.
thank you.
Yeah, I can't conform to all of that anymore. And so that's when I kind of realized this creative renaissance within myself where, you know, I grew up singing in the choir, and, you know, as I went to college, I saw a professor who was into photography, and then when I just had my job, and I was like, you know, video is where it's at, and this whole YouTube generation, and so it's like, all these things are happening around me, and they're inspiring me, and I'm completely, like, engulfed in all of it. I was like, there's no way I'm not going to try my hand at all of this, right?
Sure, absolutely.
You know? So, you know, next thing I know, I'm buying a camera. Next thing I know, I'm buying microphones. Next thing I know, it's just...
He's at the strip club throwing dollar bills. Next thing you know, he's driving a Ferrari.
Yo, keep it...
Even if it is rented.
That wasn't part of it. Yo, keep it down. But, yeah, no, in all seriousness, it's just... You realize, fine, okay, you need that stability, you need that income, so you get the 9 to 5, you work for the man, you do basic marketing, advertising, which, don't get me wrong, you know, sometimes it's very rewarding and fulfilling, and it's definitely a stable paycheck, but, you know, you get home after 5 o'clock and you're like, you know, there's got to be more to all of this, right? And so then you start exploring with coding, then you start exploring with taking photos in your apartment, then you start exploring with like editing and chopping up music videos and stuff like that, or, you know, singing a verse here and there.
Yeah.
And so that's just how I do it.
And he
It's like-
does have a beautiful voice, ladies and gentlemen. It is sultry as a motherfucker.
I don't know. I sang "Can You Hear the Love Tonight" earlier, and that wasn't.
That's how I knew. Not only that,
That
ladies,
wasn't my best moment.
what you really need to hear is his rendition of "Let It Go"
Ooh.
from the soundtrack Frozen.
Ooh.
That, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta hear that.
I don't really.
So
sing
Adina Menzel, you better run for the hills, because Richard Hackman, aka Xavier Knight, he's got you on that
Fake
one.
news. Fake news.
Media telling hella lies. So,
Yeah.
but one of the things I do love about what you do and what you bring to is the motherland. Your motherland. I've always been intrigued. Born and raised American. Love it here. This is my, what we call patria in Spanish. This is my homeland. I will ride and die for the stars and stripes.
Yeah.
But I do love it when I get to see.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
We got a special
Yes,
guest
we
over
do,
here.
ladies
Hold
and
on.
gentlemen. This is the bartender I've been talking about the whole podcast
Who
about.
are
that,
you? And can you explain what you're doing here?
Yes.
Hey, how are you guys? My
Good,
name is
how are you?
Andrea Miranda. I'm the
Andrea
bartender-
Miranda, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm the bartender at Mexico.
Yes, she is. And she's the one that makes the killer drinks.
I've been here since they opened. and we love to make margaritas. That's what it is.
Yeah, and she got to hustle down strong, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Let me tell
but
you, this is a
that's
woman
not
you don't
her
mess
only
with.
hustle.
You know?
Yo, just like 2 seconds. What do you do when you're not here at Mix Cube?
Yeah.
I work at another place. It's a nightclub, and I still keep making drinks.
Hey, all
Now,
right.
I go to my sister's house and keep making drinks.
And for you motherfuckers out there that
That's
owe her
what's
some
up.
money, you better pay up soon, all right? You want
Hey, you know, we come here, we hear all these stories. Andrea's life, we talk to her, we get to know her, she gets to know us. It's
Our people.
family, you know, it's family out here. So, you know, everybody's got their hustle.
Yeah.
Do your thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, very talented bartender, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was asking you about the motherland. How often and when? I feel like a lot of your work really does reflect your homeland.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
so,
thing.
You know, and I'm going to be a little bit hard on myself here, but it's all in love, right? So,
Of course.
you know, when I go back to Ghana, I know that my fellow Ghanaians, my people, my brothers and sisters, they see me and they see basically a Yankee, right? And that's the nickname for people who, you know, you went, you lived abroad, you come back, you think you're part of the motherland still, but you're really like privileged and whatnot.
Oh, you're no longer part of us.
Yeah, right? So I get that. That's the perception that I get sometimes on the other side. But when I'm over here, it's like being African, being Ghanaian is part of my self-identity. So it's like anything that I do, whether it's in photography or in music, I'm always going to incorporate some influence of that heritage, right? And so even my logo, my brand right now is this symbol of an eye, right?
Illuminati. I'm trying.
Oh, we're going to get to that in a minute.
No, don't get me started.
We'll get
We're
to
going to
that in
get
a
Joe
minute.
Rogan on the phone. We're going to get everybody on the phone right now.
So my logo is a symbol of an eye, and it's got these rays coming out of it. But what most people don't know is that it's actually what we call a Adinkra symbol. And a Adinkra symbol, to kind of oversimplify it, is kind of like our Ghanaian hieroglyphics, right?
Oh,
it's like
okay.
visual language. And there are thousands of these symbols. And so this particular symbol I chose...
Is there one for Big
because-
Booty? I'm just playing.
Wow.
Gotta ask.
I'll have to go into the archives for that one.
check. Do me a favor. I want to make a shirt out of that symbol.
But so stuff like that is, you know, I pull from that to influence my brand. And then, you know, when I'm doing music, you'll hear a lot of these Afrocentric drums and beats going on in the background.
Definitely do.
And when I'm doing photography, I'll include certain elements like these masks that are very indigenous to our people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and patterns and everything like that. So, you know, I really do self-identify as being Ghanaian and African.
Okay.
And, you know, I really, like, I can't have a conversation with anybody here in the States without saying something like I'm from West Africa or I'm Ghanaian. You know, just because yes, kind of like I'm proud of it, and I shouldn't be ashamed to be proud of it. And I'm always going to put that in front of people like, yo, I know I sound American, I know I sound like a Yankee, I sound like African American, but don't get it twisted. I am from Ghana. I am black as original black. You know, not to create any more discrimination against our people or, you know, segregation among African Americans and Africans. But I want people to know I came from the source.
Sure.
Right? And I still have a connection to that. I go back almost every 2 to 3 years, you know, and I speak the language with my particular tribal language, which is fun.
Bit of that. Like, why don't you say like, I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Whoa!
Can you say that? How would that sound?
Now, you know,
all right, fine. You also say I like big butts. Can't lie.
Now, you know, I'm just gonna say mipewasem, which means you know, I'm all about you. Like, I like your style. You know, that kind of
good.
thing,
Good.
right?
You ain't coming home with me, but I like that. How do you say that again?
Mipewasem.
Mipawasa.
Mipewasem.
Mipawasem.
Which kind of literally translates into I like what you're about.
Oh, okay.
You know, I like your business or something.
And I like that saying. So I mean, if you're chilling, you know, I could just say Mapawasam.
Yeah, Mipewasem. But you know, you would normally say that to a girl. But you know,
a good-looking brother.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's like, good looking out, brother. Like, you know, I appreciate you, that kind of thing. So you could also say that to a guy in that respect. Yeah.
Okay. right. I like that. Okay, all right. I guess we're going to stop interviewing the interviewer. Or the host.
Okay. But now I want to get back to your
right.
shit, right? But the moment I brought up that this guy went in talking about Illuminati. Listen,
no, you're
this
opening up
guy
that
is
can.
like conspiracy theory. Like
Well, it's only conspiracy theory until it becomes truth. You know what I mean?
Mulder on the X-Files is about conspiracy theory. Let me give you a roster of what this guy has got conspiracy theories about. He's got conspiracy theories about the Illuminati, which you already know. Chemtrails up in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
The Rothschild family.
Those bastards.
DC pedophilia rings.
Oh, even worse.
And then, of course, aliens and shit. So, you know.
Our brothers and sisters in the galaxy, ladies and gentlemen, in the universe.
So,
Come
you know
on.
what? You pick any one of those and you just freestyle right now while I eat something.
Look, I don't have to sit here and tell you guys that everything you're being fed right now is a big bowl of bullshit. I don't have to tell you that. I think you guys know that. The world at large knows that. The question is, when the hell are you guys just going to admit it? That's what I want to know. That's where I'm at this point. It's a rude awakening, and I do believe there is a renaissance happening. I do believe there is an awakening at the very moment occurring with the world at large. Not just Americans, ladies and gentlemen, but the world at large. Harvey Weinstein, sorry, buddy, but you're the sacrificing lamb. You should start this whole thing. Yeah, you started this whole thing, you know. We're going to open up that can of worms. The problem, Rich, is that it's not just one area. This is the thing. This is the thing that my wife rolls her eyes at me every single day and looks at me like, another story. Like, God, just let it go. I'm like, babe, but I'm tired of breathing chemicals in the air. Babe, I'm tired of drinking fluoride in the water. I mean, I don't even use real toothpaste. I use baking soda and coconut oil, ladies and gentlemen. I am not. I'm one of those. So CIA, if you are listening right now, yeah, put me on that list. Put me on that list because I'm that nut job, and you don't even have to put me on the list. Just follow. Just look at my browser history, even in incognito mode. It doesn't matter.
This podcast is actually sponsored by the CIA. Please continue.
Shout outs to Julian Assange and
really,
Edward Snowden.
Really,
Tag words. We're just going to keep flagging those words. Pedogate,
we're really
pedophilia.
just trying to get a bigger audience. That's all it is. We don't believe in these things. The hashtags are going to just bring in a bigger audience.
No, I think what happened was it all started with my love for sci-fi, and this is another thing that Rich and I have in common is we do love, a good sci-fi story, and it always started there as a kid, and I always believe that like most of us, there's something greater than us, and there's so much more out there to be known, to be seen, to experience. And I don't believe that this is it. I believe the opposite. I believe we've been contained, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we've been put on this little round orb to keep us away from all the things that empower us. I'll be running for office in 2035, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking for your vote.
Listen, the hashtag woke never really meant anything to me until right now.
And Black Lives do.
Like, I don't know how his girl puts up with it because just the short amount of time.
She said yes.
Just a short amount of time I've known this guy amount of exposure of time at work with this guy, I have to hear all of this, and I'm like, damn. If I had to hear this outside of the workplace, I don't know how I would survive.
I do give him credit. He still is my friend. At least I think he still is. This is happy hour with friends, so he could be lying to me. But
friends is a very loose term,
But yeah, no, I do believe in a lot of the stuff, and I listen to a lot of people. I'm going to throw out some names out there for you guys that are listening, and if you don't believe me, David Wilcock, Corey Good. Listen to my man Jimmy Church, Faded Black Radio. Start there. See if you can stomach that. If you can, then there's a world of possibilities, and there's a world of infinite possibilities and of information out there that you guys, it will twitch your cap. And do yourself a favor, just abandon all your beliefs for the moment. Doesn't mean you have to buy this. Doesn't mean you have to drink the Kool-Aid. Just for that moment in time, just abandon everything you know and you think, and just give it a shot, the information. You will see that if you do, that information will resonate in your gut. It will resonate in your gut, and you will start to see that, you know what, there might be some truth in this. Doesn't mean you have to buy it full line and sinker, but at least entertain it, and you never know.
I like Kool-Aid. It's quite tasty.
Here's black, ladies and gentlemen. Great flavor. Again, we're not stereotypical. We just call it out what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing but grape.
Grape. Now, to add a
God.
tequila flavor Kool-Aid, I'm there.
Skins would be right there.
Oh, yeah. Or
Oh my God.
or a Jamaica, or chata flavor.
Horchata. Oh my God.
We're there.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I gotta say, like, you've really encouraged me to like open up my mind a little bit more. And you know
Yeah.
what? I'm all about that. Like, I come from very traditional and conservative views.
Yeah, we all do.
And you know, it's taken a long time to kind of unlearn a lot of things. I honestly didn't resonate, and I didn't actually believe in those things. It was just what I was kind of conditioned to, you know, buy into. And so as I've grown older, you learn to think for yourself. And, you know, some things are a little too extreme for me to still wrap my head around. But, you know,
Yeah.
just being friends with you and having these conversations, they've really encouraged me to kind of like, all right, you know what? Let me actually just go to this link he sent me and let me just read.
Oh,
this
my job
thing.
here is done, ladies and gentlemen. My job here. No time to move on to the next one.
You know? And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what the hell did he
What
just
is
send
this?
me?
Bunch of bull crap.
You know? And I'm like, yo, Frank, you know,
Really?
you know that chemtrails are really like evaporated vapor in the sky. That's just
No,
science,
those
right?
those are contrails. There's a difference, my friend. There's a huge difference. When they linger in the air, that did not evaporate. But
Oh, my
look,
God.
this is not a debate. But I do applaud your openness to it, and that's all I think that most people could ask.
So here I got to jump in here because this is something that it kind of has been on my mind for a while, and I think we've talked about it a little bit. But
no, I am not going to sleep with you.
Damn. Okay. Moving on. No, but
Next
seriously. But seriously, you know, I value and appreciate your alternative thinking.
Sure.
But sometimes I think to myself, you know, as a parent, right?
Oh, God.
You know, you're raising your kids, and
Yeah.
your kids are going to pick up on your values
Sure.
and your thoughts, you know, and everything like that. And so, is this something that you're going to kind of open their minds to, or
Well,
tell them to think for themselves and read up, or?
Good question. No, very good question. No, I to answer to the short answer, that I will always tell them that it's your belief, you follow the things in life that resonate with you. That's what I will always tell them. I will always tell them that. What I will say though is that I will educate them in the sense that always look at all sides of an art research. Don't just be biased and go with one side. Never do that. Never do that. You're doing yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors. It's a detriment to your own belief when you just sit there and say someone tells you something. Look, a lot of this information that I do follow or do listen to, I don't right off the bat just say, hey, oh, this is it. Oh, I like what he's saying just because I agree with it and boom.
Right.
No, do your own research, ladies and gentlemen. You do the groundwork. Don't expect someone else to do it for you. Because if you do that, you're just following just another person like we've been following our whole lives. What you want to do is you want to do your own research. You want to say, okay, here's chemtrails. All right, let's just take that for an example.
Sure.
No, and I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to say, okay, so I believe it's this. I'm being told. I looked up on the government website, and it says it's this. The news said it's that. Okay, that's it. That's only two views and two sources of information.
Sure.
Why don't you talk to the pilots? Why don't you talk to the people that actually are experiencing these things firsthand? Have you spoken to people that are testing the quality of the air out there? Have you spoken to ex-military people? Have you listened to their podcasts? Get the full view of the matter, and then you come to your own conclusion. That's how you're going to know, and that's what I've done. At first, a lot of the information that you and I sometimes talk about,
Yeah.
it's just really it's a lot to digest, right? When I tell them that I can believe that Gwyneth Paltrow had to sleep with Harvey Weinstein to get the part of Pepper Potts in Iron Man,
Right.
that I could believe. Can you believe that it was happening to young kids? So these are topics and that are not easy to stomach. They're it's easier to dismiss and say that someone is crazy and it's outlandish what they're saying than it is to accept what they're saying.
Okay.
It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
Accountability, right? And I'm not saying you do that. I'm not saying we do. I think we all do that to some degree. So just to kind of end the point is that I'm going to always tell my daughters and my friends and family that, look, this information is what I'm hearing and what I'm listening to. Take it and do what you want with it. But what I do advise is that you take it and you do your own research. And at the end of the day, you still think it's a bunch of garbage, then that's where you sit with that information you believe. What I meant. But you don't have to go where there's a lot of information and it's at our fingertips. But just like there's a lot of disinformation. So it's hard to cipher through all of it. And that's what makes it so hard. So instead of us putting in the work, it's a lot of times easier for us to just deny it or turn around and just ignore it altogether.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand.
No, that's great. I mean,
that was the serious part of our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it.
And now we go back to the funny part, because the first thought in my mind is, you know what, Frank is, he's got both sides. He's got that hilarious, comedic, and completely off the rail side. And then
peace to all my Geminis out there.
And then he's also got his very serious and, very understanding, intellectual side. And the thought that occurs to me is that when you're exposed to this and you kind of see him in the street talking about, oh, damn, look at that fat booty, look at that nice girl. Whatever.
I do not say that.
Okay, sure you don't. His karma, his cosmic karma is that he got 2 daughters.
He's right. He's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Be
careful what you say.
So all that stuff you hear him saying on the podcast about that, just know that when he goes home, he's got a lot to work with.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, and God, if you're listening right now, I'm sure you are, that wasn't the smartest move to give me 2 daughters, because you know what ends up happening now? Now I know I'm paying the price, so now I'm really going to cash in on my check. Now I'm really going to go in.
Nice.
We just took a picture with our favorite bartender, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you'll see that on Instagram, a selfie.
There you go.
So that's where I stand on it. I do believe that humor is the best medicine for everything. Laughter and love. Straight up, no lies. That's what's going to keep us young. It's going to keep us healthy.
Absolutely,
right? I mean, that is a good plastic surgeon. I think might just do the trick.
Yeah, because he can't say something serious without messing it all up right afterward.
Yeah, no, this is good. I've actually Rich asked me quite some time ago to do this. With my wife, with Aga and I, actually.
Oh, man, that would have been so much fun with Aga.
It would have, because she would have kept, she's the checks and balance. She's the yin to my yang, ladies and gentlemen. She puts me in check.
She would bust your balls, absolutely.
Yeah, which would only make me want to say even more derogatory things.
I'm almost curious to, just talk to her specifically about you and see.
Oh, God. Whatever you do, don't let me listen to that.
Oh, my God. I think that would be more funny than this actual episode.
Yeah, it could lead to divorce, ladies and gentlemen. That I think we've become a little sensitive, and I think it's right to be cautious of, people and what you say. But I also think, you know what? Take a fucking chill pill, B. And just relax. It's just a joke. Do I mean that? No. If I said it, yeah. Did you get offended? Maybe. But guess what? You're alive. I'm alive. We can laugh about it, or you can tell me to fuck off and you can go home and have a margarita. I don't really care. But the thing is that, we have no control but over the reactions of our own reactions. That's the only thing that we have control over. Right. So my thing is I will show, if there's anything I can show my daughters is I'm going to give them elephant skin, thick skin, and this rhino skin, in the sense of saying, the world's going to say shit, and you're going to hear things, and people may speak to you a certain way. You turn to them, you laugh it off, or you give it right back to them, and then you go about your business, and you just let it roll off your fucking shoulders. By the way, the huevos rancheros at this place, slamming.
Boy, all right, let's talk a little bit about
slam
that.
Harder than Kobe Bryant.
A little promotion over here. No shame in it. So, man, I mean, we've pretty much gone through this entire menu.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And we've seen 4 different designs of the menu since we've been coming here.
Of course, we would notice that as designers. But yeah, no, we've been through almost all their sliders. All their tacos, almost all their burritos.
Oh,
and we're getting handed shots right now. Oh my God. So that we can.
Ladies, I gotta clear my throat, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, where are we cheersing to before you?
To Mexico, to our
wonderful
host
bartender.
that's been on the mic for about 2 seconds. Andrea,
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for this.
Sure, yeah. And to good friends, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Richard, for having me.
Cheers, man.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo, that's right.
That was smooth.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, tequila, ladies and gentlemen. I swear, that's what keeps me young. Forgive Viagra. Who the hell needs it? Bottle of Patron and you're good.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, this place has been really good for us. You know, we come here, we work through the menu, we taste a lot of good stuff. You know, a lot of traditional kind of Mexican, but some fusion also in there. You know.
Oh yeah, and again, shout outs to our girl Nati. She's the one that kind of I think one
Put us
day
onto this
she used to
place,
come
right?
with us. There used to be a trio, and we would come here for lunch every Friday, and she's the one that kind of put us onto this spot. I actually came here to the one located near Times Square with my wife. And I did not have a good experience in there. So when Natalia told us, hey, let's just try the one here by work, which is, again, by the Flatiron District, I was hesitant. But walking in, meeting Andrea, being our bartender, totally changed the whole thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a plug to Mexico. If you guys are ever in the city, try the one here and by the Flatiron District. Definitely worth your your trip. I mean, I could keep going.
I'm sure you could. I don't doubt it.
I just got to call my agent, my wife, my work, and tell them that I'm not coming back for the rest of the day.
This guy could go on for hours. But yeah, it's been another episode of Happy Hour with Friends. This is your boy Rich. It's been real. Peace out.
Peace.
Got yourself something funky.